Over to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So a very good morning to all. This is warm welcome on second day of 5-day workshop on technical report writing using latex. Today, 2 sessions will be there. So this time, I would like to invite our Dr. Ashok Agrawal sir for a session on introduction to latex, scope of latex, and demonstration on overleaf. He is now currently working as a senior assistant professor in the School of Electronics Engineering, VIT AP University, Amravati. He is good in the research and publication. He is an active member of various research bodies and a reviewer of many reputed journals. Based on his experience on, he would like to introduce a link with the and trains and will give demonstration on overleaf. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Ashok Agrawal sir for this session.
Yeah, thank you, Pratik. Am I audible?
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
sir,
yes,
audible.
sir. Yeah, before that, sir, can we mute all so that, by mistake and only my
Sir, you
Nikal
are
Rao? Yes, I've done it now. And Ashok sir, can you unmute yourself? Pratik sir, can you
Yes, sir.
unmute yourself once?
Yes, sir.
You're able to do it, right? Okay. So
Yes.
what I'll do now is Pratik Ji, Ashok Agrawal, where is Mohan sir? Mohan ji, मैं आपको फिर से host बना दे रहा हूँ. Okay. So now you 3 people can manage. Did you get it? Now can you see? Can you unmute?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Perfect. So only when you want to have Q&A, Ashokji, that time you can again, Mohan sir will help you out. Otherwise, what happens is suddenly somebody will join and then there is chai ka sound aa raha hai, coffee ban raha hai, and it's no problem. Okay. All right, sir. Carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel sir. Thank you, Pratik. So is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay. So I welcome you all to the session of Introduction to Latex. I'm Dr. Ashok Agarwal, Senior Assistant Professor from the Science Department, VIT AP University. I welcome you all to this session. So before we land into the presentation, so we will just briefly recapitulate what we have learned so far. So yesterday there was a session for how to read a research paper, how to find out a research gap taken by Jain sir. And then we had a session for how to use Word for writing a good research paper. We have seen the tools by making use of word processor. And today we'll be continuing this, but on a different platform, a LaTeX platform. So before we go there, I would like to know, what is your expectation? Why do we go for LaTeX? Why do we go for LaTeX? What extra we will achieve when we have different word processors? When we have different word processors like Microsoft Office, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, why do we go for LaTeX? Please, participants, respond in the chat. What are your expectations? Why we are switching to LaTeX? Why we are organizing a 5-day workshop on this? With some motivation, we should go into it, right? Sir, can I see Zoom chat? Sir, can I see Zoom chat here?
Yes, sir. Just at the bottom, sir, you can see, I think, sir.
Where?
At bottom, sir, you can see a few options. One is the chat also.
To have the paper in a format in which it is secure, professional appearance in font, for accuracy and time management, very organized way and easily editable, easy to format the paper, cut short time while preparing, structured with write-ups with formulae, open source. Okay. And what about Word then? What about Word? How is it easily editable? How it could be easily editable? Is it only the question of easiness? Are we switching to LaTeX for easiness? It's free, it's open source, structured write-ups with formulae, cut short time while preparing reports. Yeah, this could be. Cut short time is a good aspect. To have the paper in a format which it will be in secure. Professional appearance in font. Yeah, true. There should be professional appearance for accuracy and time management. Right? So more or less you are coming to the near point, right? Very organized way and easily editable, easy to write equation. LaTeX is open source, mathematical expression, mathematical form, easy reference management, right? In LaTeX, no need to align. No, it is needed, but probably alignment is easy. Maybe it contains predefined templates. No, you need to define your own template if you want to use a new one. We have some specific commands. What are those? No. Word has some difficulties. Every time we need to go for an update. Okay. Anyway, so you have given me lot of inputs, right? Can be used for different platforms. So yeah, this one is what expected. Can be used for different platforms. What do you understand by the Word file which I write on a Windows platform? Probably the same Word file, if I go to the Linux platform and open it, it may give you a different document, or it may come up with a typographical errors, right? Or the placement will be different, something like that. So here, if you go for a LaTeX, if you write on any platform, if you open that text file and if you compile it, your document will not change. Get focused. Okay. Right? So I will be introducing this LaTeX, why it has been started, and then typesetting. The main important feature of this LaTeX is typeset. Typeset, right? So what do you understand by typeset? Sometimes you may need to manage the spaces in between, or say you need to have a proper, say you are going to have a title of a document. It may not be properly typeset, or if you are going to go for a different style, then it becomes difficult to typeset the whole document, right? So typesetting is one important feature by which the LaTeX can manage. Okay, and then indenting and spacing. Okay, then format and placement with respect to what formatting, what placement. Okay, so I'm consolidating what all you have said. I'm trying to consolidate all the features which we would like to see in a LaTeX document, right? Then mathematical and special symbols. Think of Word. If you want a special symbol, like if you want a Greek letter from a Word, Microsoft Word, if you have to insert a symbol, how much you have to think of, how much you have to scroll back and forth to get a particular symbol, right? So the difficulty is you have to get that symbol, then put it in a proper format, and probably you may don't know whether that is in a Times New Roman format or in other format, right? Then equations. How should I place the equations? Whether it is a single equation, multiple equations, or if you have a case structure type equation, means the equation may take different values for different cases, say. Then in that case, how are you going to write such an equation, and how the look matters, how it looks like. Then alignment of equations, alignment of tables, alignment of figures, alignment of captions, and so on. So there are many things which the LaTeX can simplify. Then tables, subtables. So in a table, you can create subtable, right? Or in a single tabular environment, you can have subtables, their captions, Then how many columns, what should be the width of the column, should it be centered, means the text under the table should be centered, or should it be left aligned, right aligned. All those things you can manage with a single command. Anyway, all these topics will be covered during this 5-day workshop. Okay, I'm just trying to give you what could be the outcomes of this workshop, how it could be utilized. Figures, subfigures. Okay, so you can input a figure from an external environment to the LaTeX file, or you can create your own figures. Like, say, I want to draw a flow chart. I want to draw something like it for electronics engineering. Like I want to draw digital filters. Maybe I can use this LaTeX for drawing good quality pictures, right? If I draw the same thing using Word or a Office package, probably the figure may be not adhering to the quality what I require, or maybe to the journal quality. Then caption and placements, then bibliography. Okay, this is very important thing. How do we manage this bibliography? Okay, so we may be using several articles in our research paper. How do we cite them and how do we refer them? So in a Word, let us take in a word processor, if I am going to manage it, I am going to refer several articles at the end, say, I need to keep track of the references. And in the order which they were placed at the end of the document, in the same order, you need to refer them in the text of the document. Which means, suppose say I have taken certain reference and I have used a number, say it has been cited with a reference number 2. Then in the whole document, I should remember that that particular reference is being cited with a reference number 2. Mohan sir, see, someone has got the control, it seems.
Sir, tell me, sir. Oh.
Someone has got the control, it seems.
Okay, just wait.
So when we are referring to a particular reference in a word, then at which particular number I do keep the reference, that particular number I should remember and then cite, right? So here in the LaTeX, this dependency can be removed. Similarly, not only for bibliography, even for equations or even for tables, figures, we can remove this dependency. So writing equations is one thing and referring them in the text is another aspect. So in LaTeX, this write up and reference for tables, figures, subfigures, it's very easy to manage all these things. Whereas in the word processor, you need to manually keep track of these things, right? Then font. So in a particular article, yes sir.
Available another?
Yes, sir.
सर फॉर्म मैंने क्रिएट कर दिया है ऑलरेडी, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैंने फॉर्म क्रिएट कर दिया है, मैं आपको शेयर कर रहा हूँ। गूगल फॉर्म मैंने क्रिएट कर दिया है। आप
Regarding what, sir? Regarding what you are asking? Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Font, size, style, you can manage. Okay. Then consolidation. Where do we need this consolidation? So consolidation in the sense, table of contents, list of figures, list of tables, list of appendices, or the content of appendices. You need to consolidate. Say, suppose you're writing a thesis. Right? In the thesis, you want to create an index page where you want to list out how many chapters you have, or what are the contents of your thesis, then you need not keep, or you need not manually load as in you do in the word processor. You can just type a simple command and say generate table of contents, so it will generate table of contents. You can say list of figures, then it generates list of figures, and so on. So there are several things where you can consolidate the required what we call the required documentation can be done very easily, and it can be consolidated very easily. Means indentation can be done very easily. Then label and referencing. So this is, as I said, you refer a equation, you label a equation, you can refer it anywhere you want. You label a table, you can refer it anywhere you want. Figure, and then references and citing. Okay, then bibliography. So all this needs formatting, placement, and as well reference and citations. So equation writing, where it should be placed and how it should be. Should it be in the middle of the text or should it be in the left alignment? So that is one thing. So that is what format and placement. And then you need to label them and reference them, align them, tables, where it should be. So automatically LaTeX will do all this task. It will find an appropriate place in the document and try to place it where you can appropriately refer it. Means if I create a table, it will be placed at a point where it is near referenced, right? And it will find an appropriate place. Okay, that is the advantage we have with the LaTeX. Suppose if you go for a word, it is stagnant, means it is placed firmly. So if you want to do anything with the table, you cannot shift the table. If you try to shift it, it will totally disturb the text of the document. Whereas in the LaTeX, it does not do so. It will find an appropriate place and then it places the table, figure, all these objects, like they are called floating objects. So these floating objects are placed at appropriate place in the document, and from there it can be, means it can be placed at a place where it can be referred very near, right? For the first time when it is referred to the nearest place, it will be placed. Then, so at the end, we will see a small demonstration on Overleaf, right? Then, so what is the scope of LaTeX? So whatever scope you had with the word, I think the same scope we will have with the LaTeX also. You can go for an article writing. You can go for a, someone said, sir, content page also. Yeah, I said the table of contents somewhere. Okay, consolidation, table of contents, right? So the scope of this, you can write an article to the level of satisfaction the journal publisher want. Then book writing, technical report writing, letter writing, thesis writing. You can make Beamer presentation. You can draw figures, draw flowcharts, prepare resume, prepare question papers, a good quality question paper. If you go for a word processor, then probably there may be a possibility. Say you are going to prepare a multiple choice question. So here and there, your multiple choices may shift and it may not generate a good quality question paper. And you have several options. So sky is the limit, I said, right? And then so this introduction to LaTeX, it is a very quick look to typeset the documents. And here the introduction, essentially it is a markup language or a scripting language where you write your document in terms of script like HTML, XML, and the output is a document maybe in a PDF form, or you will have different forms of document. And essentially it is an extension to text system which was developed by Donald Knuth in 70s. In 1970s, he has developed this. And basically the intention of Donald Knuth was just to typeset the mathematical formulae. He has developed this text just for the sake of mathematical formulae. Okay, and after that, he found in the 1970s, when it was developed, he found that this text was not perfect. It was only using only 128 characters. Later, he extended to 256, and then he came up with a markup language in 90s, maybe in 89 or 90, he came up with that. And then it is mostly suited for producing scientific and mathematical documents with high typographical quality, right? So the intention was to produce high scientific and high quality scientific and mathematical documents, as I said before. Then, so again, LaTeX versus word processor. So which one should we adopt? Is it LaTeX is easy or difficult when compared with the word processor? So at the end of this 5-day workshop, you should find out yourself in with which tool you're comfortable, whether with the LaTeX or with the word processor. Okay, I will show you a screen where I have two documents. I have a document with two versions of it. Okay, this is one version of the document. It is the paper published here. You just find out some 5 changes from this document to this document. Okay, I'm showing you one document as this and the other one as this. Okay, notice what are the 5 changes you can make out here, and try this in Word. Try this in Word. How much time do you take to generate this kind of title in Word? Okay, forget about this IEEE 2013 10 consping, forget about this. You just start from this, the title page of this document. Okay, and the same document, it is this way. So what are the 5 changes you notice, and what are the difficulties you can encounter with the word processor? Or do you find any difficulty with the word processor or not? Yes. Alignment. Okay. What are the 5 other changes? Means at least 5 changes you can find out. Or do we don't have any 5 changes? Format, good. Font, good. Title, what is the change in title? Font size, okay. Accommodation of the words is good. Yeah, that is what. Now, what I want is, once divided in columns, it is difficult to put in one column in the same page. Alignment, yeah, good. Justification. I'm asking you just to observe. I'm asking you just to observe the title page, title and the authors. Don't observe the whole document, justification and all those. We'll see. Drawing tables, how to join in workshop. What is this? Authors are named separately. Yeah, good. So this is the major change which you will observe from this document to the other document. Okay, I will show you this document also even. So one major change is the document one, let us say this factorization method something has a font of bold, factorization method, it has a normal font, whereas the other one will have a bold font, right? Okay, other one will have a bold font. Then when you see the number of words it has aligned in the first line, second line and third line, when compared with this and to this, you will see a different arrangement of words. We have simply changed the font from normal font to the bold font, and when I have created a document in LaTeX, it has automatically rearranged the words such that it shows you a beautiful document, right? Why did it do so? Cannot it accommodate this here, right? Why did it do so? Probably implementation could not be accommodated here. So what it did, it has shifted automatically the word implementation to the next line, and then it may not accommodate all these words here. So see how it has justified line number 1 and line number 3 here, and in the middle it has justified line number 1 and line number 3 exactly to the center of the line number 2, right? And here exactly what it did, line number 2 is exactly centered with line number 1, and line number 3 is exactly centered with line number 2 and line number 3, line number 1, sorry, right? So one thing is the font has changed from normal to the bold from document 1 to document 2, and the other change is this one. Here all the authors are written in a single line and their affiliations are written in the next lines, and here if you observe all the lines are centered with respect to each other, whereas here the authors are segregated. The authors are segregated. That is the third change I could notice. And then see, when I'm writing this, assume that you're using a word processor. Assume that you are using a word processor and see how much time does it take. How much spacing should I provide between these two words, author 1 and author 2? How much spacing should I provide? How much spacing should I provide between their affiliations? How should it be determined? Whereas in the LaTeX, I need not bother about this. I need not bother about the spacing between the authors or the spacing between the words of the title, right? So this is what the major changes are. So here this is rather simple. I have written authors I have written all the authors in a single line, and then their affiliations, means department to which they belong, their school, and their email IDs all in one line. So here it's a bit easy, whereas here it's a bit typical. Okay, so generating this in Word is not an issue. But suppose if some journal needs the second type of document, then what happened? If I need to create the second type of author management, means if the journal wants this kind of write-up, then using a Word, it becomes very difficult because you need to monitor all these things manually, right? I hope you understand the difficulty here. Okay, just we will scroll through this. See, okay, any one of this document will scroll and see how it is written. See, it consists of different sections, right? It consists of an abstract section, right? And the abstract is made bold. So how this is all done? And see the 2-column format of the document, how it looks like. Now this spacing, the spacing between these 2 columns is automatically decided, right? It will be decided by the LaTeX article, right? Of which class you are, the document of which class you are trying to generate. Based on that, the space could be decided if it is a 2-column document, right? Then we have different sections, and these sections can be referred in another section, right? In the sections, we do have subsections. See the table. As I said, when you try to create a table with the LaTeX, where it has to place is decided. Means the LaTeX will decide it at a convenient place where it can be accommodated properly and it can be referred from the nearest point, right? See the equations, how beautiful they look like. Now the same equations, if you try to type in a word processor, they lose their beauty, right? So, okay, then the figures, how they are looking like. Then at last the references. So all these things which we can manage with the LaTeX looks like a bit, looks to be beautiful, but whether it is easy or difficult. Then what we have observed is the LaTeX document will give you high typeset quality. It will give you high typeset quality. Then easy to include math formulae, right? We have seen an evidence of the LaTeX document. The document was prepared using LaTeX, and we were comfortable to include mathematical formulae, floating objects very easily. I don't know, because we are new to this, so we cannot say whether it is easy or not. So you have to decide at the end of 5-day workshop. Then source file format ID not bound to a particular OS. Okay, so it has a source file, right? Basically, when you try to write anything in LaTeX, it will have a source file and the output will be something else. And that source file format is not a bounded object to a particular OS. Means the source file which you write for Windows, which you write for Linux, or which you write for some other platform, it can be very well used for other platform, unlike your word processors. Exist for all platforms, right? So this is an open source. It will exist for all platforms, DOS, Windows, Unix, etc. Then free open source software. These are the advantages. It's a standard for scientific publishing. So every publisher will give his own document class, and it has become a de facto standard, de facto tool for scientific publishing, right? Then although it is a de facto standard, it will also have a few bugs. Okay, when it was launched in 1990s for the first time, it was there. So this is a demerit of this, but sometimes these bugs are used to the advantage. Good for large documents. What is good? What is its advantage? Say you are writing a big thesis at the end of your final year, when you are about to submit your thesis. You can segregate your thesis into different chapters, and each chapter can be included in a LaTeX document, right? In a LaTeX script. You can write each chapter as a separate script. Means your thesis can be defragmented into several chapters, and then at the end, you can consolidate all the chapters into a single text document and produce a good thesis along with the table of contents, list of figures, and so on. Okay, I will show you a sample of thesis also at the end of this presentation, and the details how to write them. So that will be covered in the rest of the workshop. Then, sorry, it's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky for the new people and a little bit difficult to learn. Okay, once you learn, I say it's not difficult, I should say. Only I should say it is a tricky thing to learn when compared with the word processors. What is the tricky thing? You need to get acquainted. Okay, once you get acquainted, then it becomes easy. And the tricky thing is you need to know what classes exist. You need to know some little background about it. And then once you know, you will get comfortable with this LaTeX. Okay, so the document complexity, I'm trying to compare the LaTeX with the word processor. I have a large document which is written in Word, and I have a document which has to be written in LaTeX. And suppose the same document, if I try to write using Word and LaTeX, what is the consequence? Say I have a thesis to be written in Word. What is the difficulty I'm going to encounter? So I want to refer literature survey. I want to refer the literature survey chapter somewhere in the thesis, right? How should I refer it? Maybe after literature survey chapter, you may be developing after literature survey chapter, you may be developing your thesis working chapters. So in the working chapter, you might have to use your literature say, and how you are going to call those chapter, means call the references from that chapter to this chapter, or might be say some text of one chapter you might have to refer in the text of another chapter, or some figure of one chapter you might have to refer in the other chapter. Then how? So that's what the difficulty of referencing is, very much there in Word. So if you have a large document, then it becomes almost impossible. I don't say it is not possible, almost impossible, because you may not refer a correct figure, or you may not refer a correct equation, or you may not refer a correct page of your document. And what is the difficulty is, sometimes the pages may also change, right? As you scroll in the Word, sometimes the pages may also change. Even though if you segregate your chapters and write your thesis in Word, and it may sometimes happen so that your Word document may create another page, and then that page which you are referring in some other chapter, maybe it is a page different than what you are intending, and that becomes a clumsy thing. So that's why we say it's almost impossible. When your document complexity increases, when its size increases with the word processors, it becomes difficult. But however, it is not impossible, but you have to be very keen, right? Where in the LaTeX, the tool will take care of this aspects, right? So what I say, as the complexity of the document increases, it becomes almost impossible to meet the various required metrics of the document, right? So simply you change a font size. In one line, you change the font size of a Word document and see how your total document gets reflected. So then what happens? Your all metrics will change, right? Say your article publisher has given you 5 pages free, and by just changing the font size, it has made some 2 or 3 lines in the next page, say, then it becomes difficult for you to manage, right? Then, so what are the mechanisms? How do we use LaTeX? So you have an environment, you have an editor, a LaTeX editor called Text Editor, where we have the different inputs. This Text Editor will accept different inputs. What are the different inputs? So you have to identify which class of document you need to create. The first and foremost thing is this, the document class, and then preambles like packages, styles, whatever you want. These are the inputs to this. These are the essential inputs. And then you can provide inputs in the form of direct text. You can give direct text, or you can give another text file as an input to this. You can, like in thesis writing, you can write separate chapters. For each chapter, you can create a text file. You can create a text file and invoke it in the main file. Okay, so that is one aspect. So your user input can be another text file, or you can directly write the text of the document. Then bibliography, that is another input. Working files, what are those working files? What are those working files? Like figures, tables. You can create figures or tables in another document. You can create a text picture. You can create table of contents in another document and call them here, and invoke all the files in a single file, while when you compile it, you get the output as a print. You can give the output to a printer, you can give it to the screen, or it could be a PS, a PostScript file, or a PDF file. So you have different formats. So LaTeX initially it will give you a .dvi file, and from .dvi file you can convert it to any format, right? So the LaTeX inputs are an ASCII scripted text file. It can be created with any text editor. So you may create a text in the notepad, and then you can invoke the standard packages and classes, and you can also add some user defined files and packages specific to the journals or the article publishers. Based on that, you can add few classes and packages to the editor there. And the output file formats are device dependent .dvi file, PostScript, PDF, rich text, HTML, and XML, and so on, right? And then, so what is the LaTeX file structure? So the file structure of a LaTeX document, it consists of a document class, I said, right? So you have the document class under which you can select any of this predefined formats. It could be an article, it could be a technical report, it could be a book, it could be a Beamer presentation, and so on. Then you need to make some packages transparent to the editor. Like if you are using graphics, means when you are trying to have a packages, when you try to add figures to your file, then you need to use graphics package, proper tables package, referencing styles, right? From journal to journal, the reference style may vary. So in that case, you need to use a package provided by that particular publisher, by the publishers, so that it can be referenced in a proper format. Okay, so in the document class and after the package, we have the main body of the text, right? See, the typical structure essentially consists of this, right? So what we have is the document class, then we have the preamble. This is called preamble, using a user packages or well-defined packages, predefined packages, they are invoked here. So between this part, between the document class and the begin of the document, you can declare user-defined packages. And then between after that, we have to create an environment to write up the document. So begin the document and end the document. So this is the very typical structure. It is the very typical and simple structure. So you can try on your own. You can just try this, a simple thing, right? Begin document and end document, and in between you can write some sample text. So you can do this way. You can write some sample text with your keyboard and you check the quality of the text which you get, or you can input another file with a text extension and invoke it. Okay, that is the other method. So we can have this way or this way, either of the way you can do. So apart from this, if you are going to have an article, say, then you can have all these contents. So this title, author. So these are the few commands. These are the few commands which are needed, right? So this title, author, new page, table of contents, section, label are there. So this title of the document, even it can be placed before this statement also. Title, author, it can be placed before this. Then after beginning, you can make a title and then say new page. So if you are going for a thesis writing, or if you are going for a report writing, say, for every section you want to make a title and add a new page. So on the title page, you should have only title, and after that, it should skip that. Then you can add a new page command to that. Simple. Then table of contents. So you can add this table of contents before this itself, right? So some of the commands can add. So I have just listed out there. It's not that it should be there only. It can be placed Some of the commands can be placed prior to the begin document, and some of the commands can be placed at the end of the in the document. So in LaTeX, what we need to understand is everything is an environment, which starts with this statement, slash backslash begin, and then we have a curly brace. For in the curly brace, you will type the environment type, whether it should be a document, whether it should be a table, whether it should be a figure, or so on and so forth, right? So you have to start an environment with the begin, and you need to see that environment should also end. Just like in a C language, what you do is, whenever you start with the opening brace, you should see whether it is having its closing brace or not, right? So similarly, whenever you start an environment with the begin statement, it should also find out whether it ends with the end statement, right? So everything in a LaTeX is an environment. So in the document, in an environment, you can have another environment, like you can have a nested environments even in the LaTeX document, right? Then after that, okay, after all this, we'll have this bibliography event. So at the end of the text, and then, so your document will be consisting of sections, and in sections, you can have different types. So section. So what do we observe? So we will have section with a backslash command section, and then we'll give the name of the section to this in the curly brace. So what the LaTeX does is, it will start that section with the section name, and automatically it will assign a number to the section. Like here in this, for example, we have taken this LaTeX is great. It is section whose number starts with 1. Now under this section, if we start a subsection, it will start auto numbering it. So the next section will become 1.1, and here we will have some of the section names. So why LaTeX is great. Okay, so this is a simple sample text. Okay, and then we can have several subsections, and then automatically starts numbering. Similarly for the appendix, similarly for the chapters for thesis, right? So this is very important here, the backslash and then the command. You have a backslash and then command, backslash title. So you can create your title here, and under this you can have your title in the boldface or in the normal font, and you can decide the font size and so on and so forth. Author, footnote, whatnot, right? You can do everything just by putting backslash command and write the text in the curly brace, right? Whether it is boldface, you simply say boldface BF and then backslash BF and then write something in the curly braces. Then whole text becomes a boldface text. And apart from that, it will be automatically aligned. And then we have, I don't know why it is appearing here, make title. So when I use this command make title, it displays the title and author at one place. Then we have these commands, table of content, backslash table of contents, which will generate contents of a document, list of tables. So whatever tables we have used in our thesis or in a report, all those tables, they are consolidated only by the single command. Imagine when you go for a word, how do you consolidate the list of tables? Every time you find a table, you need to append the table name to this list, and you need to find out the page number. Whereas if the by chance the table, the page of the table changes, then automatically what happens is the page number here in the contents page will also get changed. You need not bother. Similarly, in the list of figures, labels. So how do we label? Simply say backslash label, and then you give a user defined name to the label here. Page reference. Okay, so you can start a page reference, means whenever a new page starts, you can give a name to that, and you can refer anywhere you want, like equations we want to refer. Then once you write up a equation in the document, once the equation write up is completed, then you can refer it by placing it with a proper marker. Then the other features, itemize. You want to list out or you want to enumerate a section of things, then you may use this command, itemize or enumerate. So simple thing is, for everything you need to have a backslash, and nowadays the tools, they even come with the predicted commands also. Just type backslash, you type I, it will give you a list of commands what you want to do. Okay, such is the flexibility we have. The only thing is you need to put your effort in. You need to put your effort what you want to do, right? Means once you are technically ready, the content formatting, the content placement, you need not worry, the tool will take care of. Only thing is you have to worry about how much technically you can build up. So once you are done with the technical part, then formatting a paper, placing anything over the paper is the job of the tool. We need not worry about that, right? So as I said, in LaTeX, everything is an environment. Then say begin, how it should be, backslash begin, then the name of the environment, backslash end, then with the name of the environment. Means the name with which it begins, with the same name it should end. And these are not user defined names actually. These are the standard names which they can be called from the packages actually. So to call these environments, we need to invoke the packages, right? Then for example, this is also a kind of environment. This does not require any begin and end. Here there is one example where you can start with the opening curly brace and end with the closing curly brace, and here this text BF is one environment where all the text between these curly braces will be converted into boldfaces, right? And can be recursive. Examples, itemize, center. So like when I say in a table, I want to center certain objects, so everything can be centered. So before the start of the table only, I will declare the objects under this column should be centered. The objects in this column should be in left align format. So I can do at the start of the table itself. Then abstract. So there are different things here. So alignments, you can have different types of alignments like center, flush left, flush right, etc. So for example, here, if I say begin flush right and then end the environment with end flush right, and in between text, whatever is there, the result will be in the right align mode. So means I am not bothered whether this text is written here or anywhere on any part of the text editor. It could be written anywhere, but it will align in a proper fashion according to the command given, according to the environment created. And these are the different font sizes which a LaTeX editor can handle. Any script size, footnote size. Okay. So once what you have to do is you have to start with the say backslash tiny and start with the opening brace and end it with the closing brace and so on. So there are different types. So how huge you want, you can do with it. So here, see, there is something like this is large as well as this is large. So this font, when I start with a small letter, this font will be smaller in size when compared to the font which starts with this one. Okay, if the environment is with this, then the font size of this will be a bit larger when compared to this. So even this will make a difference in the LaTeX document. Right? Then again, so by bibliography, how do we cite, how do we call a reference. So we have different methods here for bibliography. Like you can add the bib item in the environment of the bibliography, or you can separately create a file. Okay. And for this, I have referred these tutorials. So before we end up, let us see a tutorial, a kind of session where I have this. Okay, you can also do what I would like to ask. What I prefer you to do is you go to overleaf.com. Mohan, Pratik,
Yes, sir.
are you there?
Yeah.
So I would like to demonstrate with these people. Just I want to make these people, all the participants can make a title page. Okay. Simple title page. Okay. I don't know how this will go off. On my screen, always this is appearing. Can I do something?
So just go to the Google and type Overleaf, sir. Then you can move to the new template. Just go to the Google.
No, my problem is like I am unable to remove this one.
PowerPoint. Unshare your screen, then you share the screen again, I think.
Okay.
If you want to remove the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, I should unshare it. Stop share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then again, I need to share my screen. Yeah. I could share it, but I would want, okay. So I want all of you do this. Go to overleaf.com. Okay. So already I have created a project. See what it does. Go to overleaf.com and just create a ID. Just try to. Mohan.
Yes, sir.
See this particular window, it is appearing always here.
Sir, we can see your Overleaf window, sir. We can see your browser.
Yeah, okay. Okay, just go to overleaf.com. All the participants, what to do is just go to overleaf.com, and there I think I have already created an account. So I want you to create an account in Overleaf. So log in with your email. You can have a new account, or you can log in with your email. So what you do is register on it. Okay, register with your email and create a password. And once you do this, you will be getting some email, and you need to confirm your email. Okay. Once you do this, okay, all of you are doing this. Pratik is there?
Yes, sir.
Pratik, see whether all the participants, whether they can do this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I need is they simply create a title page, and later the rest of the sections you can continue at 11:30.
Dear participants, you write in the chat box if you have any difficulty in the registering or login in the Overleaf. If you are done with your login, just you reply in the chat. So we can proceed further. Waiting for your response. Because this is a hands-on session, so you will have to create your document now.
Yeah, because this will continue throughout now. Once you create a document for this, in the same document, we will be asking you to create tables, figures, right? And so on and so forth. Means whatever extra or whatever a article requires, we will be adding up in this particular document only, so that all the things will be at one place. And whenever you, once the workshop is finished, if you want to, if you need to refer it, you can refer, right? So I just want you to get exposed to the Overleaf environment. See how beautiful it is. Now,
After registration and login is done, sir, you can proceed further.
yeah. So now, once you are logged in, I think I have to log in again. So there is a difficulty here. Okay, I need to log in with my email ID. Sorry. So what options do you get? All right. Please move this window from the shared application. How could I move this window from the shared application? Okay, you can go to a new project. Mohan sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just help me out. This window, I am unable to clear it off in my shared window.
So which one? Please move this window away from the shared application.
Yeah. I want to remove this Zoom window.
Pratik sir, do you have any idea? I think sir, remove.
I think you want to unshare the window from the Zoom also, I think.
No, yeah. What should I do?
Now this is not shared right now.
Okay, I want to show you this. What is observed now? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Your Overleaf window is just looking here.
Okay.
There's a text editor and compile window. You can see a PDF and the Overleaf.
So this window is coming. Yeah. Okay. So now what you can do is you can create a blank project. Say create on new project, and see there are several options. Like you have the file options, and then you can have the several options. What do you want to create? Do you want to create resume? Do you want to create thesis? Do you want to create a lab report, presentation, poster, homework, so on and so forth. So different templates are given, right? So let us create a blank project. Okay, you can observe this at a later point of time. So in the blank project, it asks you the name. What should be the project name? Let us say demo 6421. Okay. Create it. So it creates a window there. The necessary preambles. So here, by default, it creates an article. It creates an article here, and then you have a use package. And then, so this is preamble, document class is by default article, and then you have a demo over here. Title is the name of the file. If you wish, you can change this. If you wish, you can change this title, and then the author can be changed. The author name can be changed over here. And if you wish to have a date in your document, you can keep this, or otherwise you can erase this. If you wish, you can keep date in the document. Otherwise, you can remove that, right? And then begin a document, end document, and in between you have a make title. So this title and author need not be here. It could be here also, but best thing is you keep this at this point, right? And then begin the document, end the document, and make title. So when I compile this, I get this. Okay. So by default, I'm getting date. Even then I have removed, it is getting. And then the title page, okay, I have removed. So there is no title here, no author. And then we have a begin document, make title. So what is the title? So the space is created here actually. And then the section name, introduction, with its number, it has been pointed here. Okay. So this is one thing. So you do this one. I would like you to do this particular part. First, you can do this, and at later point, you can create a new project and with a different title, like title in a single line, and you can have a title in multiple columns, like the one I have shown you. So once you are creating a new document, the packages it requires is taken, means the essential package what it requires is taken by the tool itself, the online tool itself, right? The title names, the required things, the required essentials are invoked by the tool itself. And see here, when you compile, it always saves the file name with main.tech. Observe here, you should make an observation that your document which you are trying to create is created with a file name main.tech. So when you compile, it will be compiling this main.tech file. In this main.tech file, you can have different input files, and from this input files will be given as, will be taken as input by the main, and then it will compile. Okay, so then I hope you are doing this. This is quite easy. The first one is quite easy. Simply you have to create a file name, or you have to create a project name, and automatically it does. And the compiled part is also given there. So let us change the name. Two authors, demo, author 1 and author 2, let us do. So let us add one more author name, Agarwal Ashok, and say Pratik Jain. So then as and when you type a new text, compile it. So on the right hand side, you will be seeing the document which has to be given to the publisher, and the left hand side you will have the scripting file. Okay. Yeah, we will be switching to the two column. So first you get acquainted with this, and later we'll switch to the two column also. Just modify the title here. So you may use this throughout the 5-day workshop. Okay. See how beautiful the title is. So the author of the document is not bothered about the look. The tool is bothering about it, right? Then so now, as we are interested in the other one, the first one is quite simple, right? When we have authors in a single line, automatically that can be taken care. Even in the Word also you can do that. Ashok Agarwal and Pratik Jain can be typed in one line. They can be centered. Then their affiliations, their designations, senior assistant professor, grade 1, they can be typed. Both of them are having same affiliations. So if needed, you can type them. Or otherwise, you can directly type School of Electronics Engineering, VITAP, and so on. So all of them can be typed in a single line and all of them can be centered. So it does not make a difference when it is a Word document or when it is a LaTeX document. But suppose say if I want to have, if I need to have a 2-column, authors are from 2 different universities. Like here, one author is from VITAP and the other author is from NIT Warangal. And they have different affiliations, different email IDs. Then what we need to do is, you need to add this package first. What you do is, you add this package. In your preamble, you add this package, use package, start the opening flower bracket and write down multi-col. So it understands multi-column, MULTICOL, and close the brace. Right? Then, as this is one extra thing we need to add, and then begin document and end document you add. Okay, you can add begin document, start the document with the begin phrase, and you may have corresponding end document also, maybe. So when I start, I could write here begin, and I am starting my environment now. I need multi-columns. This is my environment. I want a multi-column environment and the number of columns are 2. So in the next brace, I have the options. So if there are 3 authors, I can place 3. Okay. Begin multi-columns and then place 2 over here, and correspondingly you can end there. Okay. To correspond to this, you can have a corresponding end multi-columns. Right? I hope it should be fine. Now then, again, in this, the title could be written this way. So I have created a boldface environment for the title. So title, starting brace, starting flower bracket. Then under that, I'm making my title of the document as a bold-faced title. So I start with the / text BF and then under the flower braces, I will write the title of the document. And then I have 2 backslashes. So these 2 backslashes will indicate a new line. Whenever I place 2 backslashes, it will indicate a new line. Okay, just like in C, whenever I put \n, it will indicate a new line. Similarly here, when I put 2 backslashes in LaTeX, just develop an analogy, right? Whenever I put 2 backslashes, it is a new line character. Okay. So see that your opening flower braces and the closing flower braces, they match. The number of opening flower braces and the closing flower braces are equal. Okay. Once you do this, then after the title, you have author. So \author, and then type the name of the author, his affiliation, his designation, affiliation, email ID, and at every point I'm creating a new line. At every point I'm creating a new line. After the name, a new line character. After the designation, a new line character. Then for the affiliation, a new line character. Then the email ID, a new line character. Okay, this is for author 1. And then have a command like /and. This is a command here. Okay. See, in the text, in the output text of the document, you will never find and. So this and is, there are 2 authors. So you have to place one author in one column and the other author in the other column, because we have generated an environment of multi columns, that is 2 column environment. So this is for column 1, this data is for column 1, and by putting this command and we will be creating data for column 2. So this is for column 2, and we are placing data almost similar to the data we place in the column 1. So we have the name, then we have the designation, then we have the affiliation, and then we have the email ID, and then we close the multi columns. The environment for the multi columns is closed. And after, if we are done with this, then we can make a title, right? Hope all of you have done this. So once you do, compile, okay, recompile it. So just observe. So have we bothered about where we are placing name 1 and name 2? We are simply creating a text for both of them, but we are not bothered about their alignments. We are not bothered about their fonts. The author is just giving the text. He is giving the script to the editor. Yeah, you can very well copy the text from the Word file and keep it there. So the make title, what is the use of make title? Make title will take the text from this title and the authors, and it will format in a proper way and place it on the document.
So, sir, I have already answered for those questions.
Yeah.
I have already answered.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I could not listen. I thought.
Yeah.
I think. Okay. On the left-hand pane, you can see there are some documents here. So your main, apart from the main.tech, you have different documents over here, different files actually, I should say. So when you are creating a article, just to make you acquainted, you may be using figures in your article, say, as and when you progress. So what you need to do is you need to upload your figures in this pane, whatever figures you are trying to use. You might have drawn in some other environment. You might have to capture those figures, say in your tool, from your simulation tool, you got some figures, say, and that you want to upload. So that file can be saved as a PNG file or a JPG file, and you can upload that file over here. That is one thing. Say your article class is something else than article. Your IEEE transaction fellow gives you his own specifications. He will define his own document with his specifications. Then that particular class has to be uploaded here, right? So in this pane, you will find different. You will be finding different files which are needed by the main document. So this main document will make use of all these files. It invokes all these files in the main document and then creates a article, right? So this is one technical article writing type of thing. And then I have another, I hope this is visible, where we give the file inputs. Is it visible? Mohan sir?
Yes,
Mohan
sir, visual, sir. Yes, sir, visual, sir.
Yeah. See, the different aspects of a thesis, where we want abstract, acknowledgements, acronyms, appendices, approval sheet, certificate sheet, different chapters, all of them are defragmented, means all of them are written segregately, and they are called in one file, that is main file. We have called in a main file, and even the pictures are called here. So we will be calling all those things in one particular file, and then the main file will be compiled. When I compile this, only the main file will be compiled, right? Sorry, I think there is some error here. I could not do that, but anyway, I did compile that. So the idea is to show how you can make a thesis, how you can make a technical article by making use of simple commands, where we need not bother about the placement, formatting. Only your focus must be on your technical content, and the rest of the things the tool will do. And as the workshop progresses, we will be learning all this. Okay. By this, I have come to the end of my session. So if any quick questions, percent represent that the statement is commented. Okay, right. So any quick questions, or else our team members will help you in the throughout the sessions.
Dear participants, feedback form is shared with you in the chat box. You can fill that. If you have any query, you can ask. Regarding the images and table, we have separate sessions. So you go through the schedule. We have separate session for the images, equations, and table tomorrow. So you join tomorrow for the image and table.
Yeah, and this is the introductory section. Just I want you to know the features. I hope how to split and specify the authors. Okay, splitting and specifying the authors is, ma'am, like you need to where is it? You need to start an environment. See here, if my screen is visible, look here. after begin document, I have started an environment where I have started a multi-column environment, and the number of multi-columns are 2 in number. So to use this, I need to I have to declare a preamble, that is use package multi-column, right? And after that, as usual, we can declare the title. Next line, we can declare the title, and in the author section /author, you can have, you can have the author names, right? So you can have the author names here, author name, designation, affiliation, then email ID. I have used 4. If you have some more lines to add, you can add by using this new line character. So this is author 1. So before and, you can have one author, all the details related to one author. This /and will split the author into 2 columns. So this is the data for column 1. Ashok Agarwal, Senior Assistant Professor, School of Electronic Engineering, and all this is for author 1. And then I have a separator called /and. So this will create the data for the next column. So the second author, B. Lakshmi, Associate Professor, this is all the data for second column. So this way the authors are splitted, right? And someone is asking in the chat, like, can we have a spell check? Yeah, you need to make an appropriate package transparent to the editor. Then you can even check. You can have a spell check in the LaTeX also. Do we have to upload other extension file? For what? Ethics, I don't know what you are asking. Grammatical errors. And spell checks that it can do specified. So you need to make appropriate packages transparent. It has fixed order of commands, or the order of commands can be altered. Which one? So this Overleaf is a cloud. This will be saved on a cloud. Whatever project you create, it will be saved on a cloud. If you want to download it, you can download and then upload, or you can create in a drive wherever you want. Right. So I hope I have to stop here. Mohan sir, over to you. Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mohan sir, over to you.
Okay. So I hope participants, this session will be helpful to you. This is just introductory session. Hands-on session will start from just after 5-minute break. And in that, you will learn about the document structure, how to create the section, how to create the heading, how to enumerate, how to itemize, how to create the introduction part. So a lot of things you will see, how to do the structure, margin, a lot of things you will learn in the coming session. So just you can take 5-minute break. If you are facing any difficulty in the filling the feedback form, we will share again after modifying that form. Okay, so you can fill the feedback form by end of the today's session. So don't worry about the feedback form. We will share it again after working on that. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Ashok sir, for the wonderful session. Pratik sir, you can handle if you want to say anything.
Yes, sir. So I think next session will be start after 5 minutes. And from the next session, Dr. Khenar Vikas Vishnu sir will join with us. So we stay tuned. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pratik. Thank you, Mohan. And thank you all the participants for bearing with me for 1.5 hours.
Thank you, Ashok
Thank you,
sir, for a valuable lecture. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, Pratik
Yes,
sir.
welcome back after 5 minute session. Okay, now it's time to invite our second speaker of the day. I would like to request Dr. Khenar Vikas Vishnu sir for a session on hands-on practice, document structure. He is currently working as a senior assistant professor in the School of Electronics Engineering, VIT University. He is also an author of numerous research papers. Now, we would like to invite Dr. Vikas Vishnu sir to put his efforts on hands-on session on document structure. Vikas Vishnu sir. Sir, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yes, sir. Now
Yes,
my
sir.
voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, now you can start your sessions right now, sir. No issue.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I will share my screen and I will start.
Yes, sir.
Sir, my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Your
Yes,
screen
sir.
is visible, sir.
Okay. So shall I start?
Yes, sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So in the previous session, I think Dr. Ashok sir has given the broad overview related to the LaTeX and like overview the comparison between the Microsoft Word and what are the advantages of LaTeX. Then how to write actually the journal article, then the conference papers, how this overall paper will look like. So the complete overview has been given by Ashok sir. So this will be the hands-on session on the document structure. So I'm Kernar Vikas Vishnu, working as an assistant professor in the School of Electronics Engineering. So along with me will be Dr. Vijay Anand, then Dr. Raju Sharma and Dr. Naveen. So they will help you to if some errors are there, if some problems are there. So we will try to solve all your queries in this hands-on session. Okay. So now. So this will be the complete overview of this session. So at the end of the session, we will be able to generate a complete document in LaTeX. So what are the contents we are going to cover? So first of all, we will see what is the meaning of article type. Then what the different packages are there and which packages we need to use for certain editing applications. Then what is the meaning of text formatting? Then how to make the list in the LaTeX. So related to that, we will see what is the meaning of item and enumerate, how to write that particular list in the LaTeX. So that we are going to see. Then how to make the sections and then the subsection. And once you have written the section and subsection, how to form the table of contents. So that we will see. Then how to write the heading and subheading. And we will conclude how to write the chapters in the LaTeX. So this will be the complete overview of our hands-on session. Okay, so very briefly, we will just start within 2-3 minutes. We will just take you through what are the advantages of LaTeX. So why basically we are using the LaTeX? So LaTeX basically helps to make the beautiful documents. So we can write the different journal articles, conference papers, books. We can make some beautiful presentations in the LaTeX. So we can draw some figures and we can draw graphs. So all these facilities are available in the LaTeX. So especially to write it down the mathematical equations, LaTeX is very useful. So it was created by scientists for scientists, and a very large and active community is there. So if any errors are occurring in your LaTeX document, you can search it online, or there are different platforms where you can discuss your queries and you can get resolved your queries. So it is a powerful tool, and you can extend it for the packages. You can include certain packages for writing the papers, then writing the presentations, reports, thesis, and spreadsheets. Okay, so this slide completely summarizes why actually we are going to use the LaTeX. Okay, so how does it work? So I think in the previous session, Ashok sir has completely covered it. So we will just summarize that. You write your document in plain text with certain commands that describe its structure and meaning. Okay, and the LaTeX program processes your text and commands to produce a beautifully formatted document. So we need to write certain commands, and we will execute that particular code to generate the beautifully formatted document. Okay, so now first we will start with creating a document in LaTeX. So first we will create a document in the LaTeX. So under that, we are going to see this particular content. So first we will see the introduction, then what is the meaning of preamble of a document. Then we will see how to display the title of your document. Then we will see what are the basic formatting tools are there, how to write the abstract, how to write the paragraphs, how to change the line spacing in the paragraphs, how to start the text on the new line, and these are things we are going to see, and how to write the comments in the LaTeX. So first of all, in this particular section, that is creating a document in LaTeX, in that section, we will cover these particular points. Okay. So I think all of you have now know that how to start the Overleaf, and I think sir has given the complete notes on how to open the Overleaf and how to open your first document. So I will just go to the Overleaf, and here you can see that if you just click on this arrow, you just click it over here, and you can see that new project option has come. So I'm just clicking on this new project option, and here a blank project is there. So now I am opening the blank project. So I'm just giving some name to this. So suppose document and document 2. So now I will click on this create. So now the Overleaf will create the document 2. Okay. So all of you are able to create this document. Can anyone please reply? Whether you are able to create this document?
So they can reply in the chat box, sir.
Okay, okay, sure, sir.
So they are replying in the chat box.
Okay, sure. So
Sir,
now,
your Overleaf screen is not visible to us.
Okay, okay, sir. I will just share it again.
Yeah.
Sir, now the screen is visible. That Overleaf's screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Perfect, sir. Now
Okay.
it is perfectly
Okay,
visible.
fine. Okay, fine. So now what we will do, whenever we are creating that particular project, so we created the project and we have given the name, that is document 2 to that particular project. So Overleaf has created that document, and here you can see that by default, Overleaf has created the title of this document by the name by which we are created this document. So here you can see that document 2. So that is basically the title of your document. Here the author name is also coming. By default, here date is also displayed, and here we are starting the section. So what we will do, we will just erase all these contents, and from scratch we will try to write the code so that we can display our first document. So what I will do, so first command you need to write is a document class. So now you can see that Overleaf basically helps us to make the coding in a simplified way, so that you can see that whenever I am typing this document, so by default it is document class is coming. So I can double click on this. So document class. Now here I am writing article. So document class we have defined as an article. Okay. So next line we will write that begin document. So if you just double click on this begin document, so end document is will automatically come. So now whatever the text we wanted to display in this output window, so that text should be written between the begin document and the end document. So now in the Overleaf, you can see that there are three different windows are appearing. So the window which is on the extreme left, which will be called as a project window. Here you can see that whatever the section and subsections or whatever the different images we will be uploading. So all this data will come on this extreme left hand side. So that will be called as a project window. The second window is called as an input pane, where we are writing our input commands, whatever the coding we are writing. So that we will be written in this input window. And the window which is present on this extreme right, that will be called as an output window. So we will write our code in this input window. We will just compile it, and output of this code will be displayed in this output window. Okay. So we have defined now the document class, that is article we have defined. There are different types of classes we are going to see. Then we have started with begin document and end document. So what are the text you wanted to display in the output window? So that text should be written in between the begin document and the end document. So now we will write some text in this in between begin document and end document. So I'm just writing, this is our first document, and full stop, and I am writing hello world. So that this will be our first document. So I think everyone has written this, and now we will just compile it. So you can click on this recompile, and after compiling, the output can be seen over here. So now you can see that our output has been displayed over here. So this is our first document, and full stop. and after that hello world is there. So I think now everyone has been able to display the content, whatever we have written between the begin document and the end document. Okay, shall we proceed? I think everyone is able to do that.
Sir, actually, they are replying in the chat box.
Okay,
That's
okay,
it.
okay.
In
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you, Naveen sir. So now we have created our first document. So in that you can see that the title of this document is missing, author name also is missing, and the date is also not there. So initially what we have done, we have just defined the document class, and here you can see that curly braces are there. So in the curly braces, we have written that article. So this is the document which will have the class which is article, and whatever the text we wanted to display, so that text has been included between a begin document and the end document. Okay, so now we will just go through the presentation again. Okay, fine. So now initially we have created whatever the code I have displayed in this particular slide. So you can see that we have started with document class, then begin document and the end document. So this is the minimal LaTeX document. So commands always starts with a backslash. So you can see that the document class, so this command is starting with the backslash. Begin document is also there, so that is also starting with backslash. The whatever the text we have written in between the begin document and end document, so that should be written in the plain way. Then end document is also there, so that is also command, so that should be starting with a backslash. Okay, so now every document starts with a document class command. Whenever we are starting the document, it should always start with a document class. There are different types of document classes are available. So here we have just a very simple document class we have used, and that document class is an article. So you can see that the argument in the curly braces tells LaTeX what kind of document we are writing. Okay, so therefore we have written that article. So now a percent sign starts a comment. So hello world, and we have written one comment over there. So your content goes here. So whatever the content we are writing after this percentage sign, so LaTeX will basically ignore the rest of the line. It will not execute it. Okay. So if you need to mention some comments, because this is a very simple 4-line code, but whenever you are writing some journal papers or conference proceedings, then thesis, or presentation, so that will consist of the large number of lines. It will consist, it will be a long code, so you need to specify some comments so that you can understand what point you have included in your code. So we can define the percentage sign, so LaTeX will ignore all of the rest of the line. So now type your text between the begin document and the end document. So I hope everyone has been able to generate this particular code. Okay, so now let's start with the simplest working example. So this is we have seen. So the input file just a plain text file with the extension .text. So whatever the file we will be saving, so we have given the name to that file as an document2. So that file will be saved as an document2.text. So that is the LaTeX extension. So it will contain code that the computer interprets to produce a PDF file. So we are getting the output in terms of the PDF file. So the first line of code declares the type of document. In this case, it is an article. And then between the begin and end document tags, you must write the text of your document. I think the initial content is clear to all of you. Okay. So now what is the meaning of a preamble of a document? Okay, so now we are slowly will proceed and we will see a lot of contents related to the document structure. So now what is the meaning of a preamble of a document? So now here you can see that I have included certain code. So you can see that I have written that document class in the curly braces articles, and I have used some two square brackets, and inside that I have written as 12 point comma letter paper. So there are different options are available. So now I have set the font size of the text as an 12 point. Okay, and the paper we are using, we have mentioned that the paper is an letter paper. After that, we are using certain package, use package UTF-8, that is the input encoding. We are going to see what is the meaning of that. Then we are defining the title first document. Then we are specifying the author. Then what is the date? Then begin document. Then make title and the end document. So the preamble means the part of your .text file before this point, before the begin document, whatever the content we are writing, that is called as a preamble. So the content which is appearing between this begin document, before this begin document, it is called as a preamble. So in the preamble, you define the type of document you are writing and the language, load extra packages you will need, and set several parameters. For instance, a normal document preamble would look like this. So now we will see line by line what is the meaning of each line in very much detail. So before that, we will go to the Overleaf and try to create a document with an article, and that will have the title, author name, and date. It will be there. So now we will go to Overleaf. Okay, so now we have this document class we have already defined. So after that, now what we can do, we can include that use package, or that can also be done it afterwards. So now we will just mention the title of this document. So title. So here I will mention the title. So title of this document is, suppose this is the first document. Okay, so title, and in the curly braces we are specifying the title of that document. So it is a first document. So after that, what I will do is that we will mention the author name. So author. So author by default, it is taking this. So we will take an author, and suppose I'm mentioning the author as an XYZ. And here what I will do, suppose in some of the cases you need to mention your university, that logo or university name you need to specify. So suppose here I'm just writing /thanks, and here I'm writing Overleaf. Okay. So now this completes this author line, and here I'm just writing date. So here by default date will come, and here / I am writing today. Okay, so I think all of you have completed this. So first we started with document class article, then title / title. In the curly braces we are writing first document. Then author / author. In the curly braces we have written XYZ, and we are specifying one more command, that is /thanks Overleaf. Okay, we will see how it is displayed in the output window. Then we are specifying the date, and in the curly braces we are specifying as an /today. So /today means by default it will take today's date whenever we are compiling. So that date will be taken in this output window. So now if you just compile this, I'm just recompiling it. So what will happen? Your output will appear as it is. So whatever the text we have written between begin document and end document, so that text is coming as it is, that this is our first document and hello world. Our title is not getting displayed, authors names are not coming, date is not getting displayed. So now to display the title and the dates and author names, you need to add one more command, and that is after this begin document. So we need to add one command, that is / you need to write make title. So whenever you write this make title, so that you can display the title in your output document. So I will just recompile it, and after recompiling, okay, after recompiling, you can see that the title of the document has been displayed. So this is the first document, and author name has been displayed, that is XYZ. And here you can see that the star mark has come, and at the end of this document, you can see that this Overleaf name has come. Suppose you wanted to thanks to given to your university, some funding are there from the DST or some other funding agencies. So what you can do, you can add their name over here, and at the end of your first page, you can display that particular name of that particular funding agency or university name. And here you can see that the date of this date in the document can be specified manually also if you are specifying /today. So by default, whenever you are compiling it, so that date will be displayed in the output window. So here you can see that April 6, 2021 has been displayed over here. And this is our text, that is, this is our first document and hello world. So what will be the content we will be including into this begin document and end document? So that text will be displayed in this output window. So I think everyone has done this exercise, how to display the title, how to display the author name, and how to include the date in the output window. Right. Okay. Naveen sir, are you there? Shall we proceed to the next task?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, thank you.
One point.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
they're just telling that they want some time.
Okay, fine, sir. Okay.
Give them 1 or 2 minutes and they will start.
Yeah, fine, sir, fine. Okay, so you can just take some 2-3 minutes and you can write this code and you just recompile it and you can check what output you are getting. You can change the author name. You can include your name into the author. You can include your university name or the college name in this thanks. So suppose I'm making over here, you can change these things and what are the changes you can see in the output window. And you can see that whenever there are some spelling mistakes are there, so that will be given by some red underline. You can see that. So if you just right click on this, so you can see that university has come. So I will just select that university. So now if you just recompile, so here you can see that VIT AP University has come in this output window. You can change the author names also over here, so that you can see how it is changing the output window. You can add some more text over here. So today details related to the document structure. Okay, so here you can see that whatever the text we have written between this begin document and end document, so that content has been displayed over here in this output window. Okay, so I think most of the students they had done. So now we will just see line by line what is the meaning of each line. Okay, fine. Right. So initially we have seen what is the meaning of this preamble. So we have seen that the content which is added before this begin document, it is called as a preamble. So now we will see the details related to the each line. Okay. So now what is the meaning of this document class? And document class square bracket and curly braces are there. So till now what we have used, we have just used \document class and the curly braces article only we have used. We have not set any particular parameters in this square boxes. Okay, so we will do that. So now, as said before, this defines the type of document. Okay, so article we have defined. So some additional parameters inside brackets and comma separated can be passed to the command. So in the example, the extra parameter set the font size 12 point and the paper size is letter paper. So you can see that we have used the 12 point. So font size will be fixed to 12 and the paper size will be selected as an letter paper. So the other font sizes can also be used, such as 9 point or 11 point, 12 point can be used. And LaTeX will take the default font size as an 10 point. As for the paper size, other possible values are included, such as A4 and legal paper. So those papers can also be included in this square braces. Okay, so whenever you are writing the IEEE paper, so IEEE will provide the templates for the transaction paper or the conferences paper. So you can go to the journal in which you wanted to submit your paper. You go to that website and there some options will come that you wanted to download the template of that particular journal article, so that you can download that template and whatever your paper is there, so you can add your content in that particular template file, right? So now what we will just do, we will, I think in one of the session, the details related to how to write the IEEE transaction papers or Springer or elsewhere, that will be covered in one of the separate session. What we will do, we will just briefly see how this IEEE transaction class, it will act. So here the class we have defined as an article. So there are different types of classes are available. So what are the different types of classes in the LaTeX? So the first line of code in any LaTeX document is the document class declaration command. Okay, so what are the different types of classes are available? So first we have taken the article. So for articles in scientific journals, presentations, short reports, or program documentation, for that we can use this article class. For articles with IEEE transactions format, we need to define a class which will be IEEE tran. So you need to write this IEEE tran in the curly braces so that whatever the document you will get, so that document will be in the IEEE transaction format. If you are writing the proceedings, so you can specify a proceeding, that is PROC, you can write in the curly braces. If you are writing the report in the curly braces, you can specify the report. If you are writing the book, you can specify book. Slides, you can specify later, or you're making some presentations in the curly braces, you can define the class as a beamer class. I think presentations also will be covered in one of the sessions. So in the document class, you can just specify that the class of that document will be the beamer. Okay, so now we have seen that the square bracket is there. So there we can include different types of options. So what different types of options we can include? So we can include the font size, and we can include the type of the paper we need to use. So you can see that different font sizes we can set, and whether it is an A4 paper or letter paper, that can be specified in the option 2. Okay, so now what we will do, we will just go to the Overleaf, and we will include the IEEE transaction as a document class, and we will see how it is changing our output. Okay, so now we will go to Overleaf. Right. So now what we will do over here, we will just mention the document class. Here, in place of article, you need to write as an IEEE and small TRAN, that is IEEE transaction. And here in the bracket, square bracket, you can specify that we are writing the journal paper. And here, comma, you can specify that the paper should be, suppose we wanted to have the 2-column paper. Okay, so you can see that what we have included. So we have included the document class, it should be a journal, and comma, we have specified that we wanted to display that paper in the 2-column format. So therefore we have included 2-column, and here the class is we have defined as an IEEE transaction. So what we will do, we will just execute this file, and we will see how its output is looking like. So we will just recompile it, and we will see its output. So here you can see that initially we have used the document class as an article. So the output was coming in the different format. And here we have used IEEE transaction document class. And here you can see that here the title is appearing. So title of our document is a first document we have used. So what you can do, you can change the title, and that title you can display in this output window. So here you can see that whatever the content which we included between the begin document and end document, so that has been displayed over here. So what we can do, we can include some more content into this particular file, so that you can see that how this 2-column document will be created. Because here now the text is not sufficient there, so therefore we are not able to see double column output. So what we will do, I will just take some content from one of the file, and I will just paste it over there. Okay, so now here you can see that the output has come in the 2-column format, right? So I have taken some text from the IEEE transaction paper, and to show the output in the 2-column format, I have just pasted that content into between the begin document and the end document, right? So now what we can do, instead of journal, you can specify the conference proceeding. So what I'm writing, I'm just writing over here conference, and I'm just recompiling it. So LaTeX will understand that now you wanted to write your article in the conference format. So you need to just write the conference and your output will come in the that particular format, right? So again, if you just change conference to the journal, so that output you will come in the journal format. You can write it over here that we want the output in terms of the one column. So now if you just recompile it, okay. So I have written instead of 2 column, I have just written over here to 1 column. So you can see that our output has come in the 1 column format. Right. So I hope till this point everyone has understood the importance of document class and how to add the title, how to mention the author name, and how to include the date in your document. Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir, we can proceed.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so now what we will do, I will again go back to our presentation so that we will see what are the next point we wanted to cover. Okay, so now we understood what is the meaning of classes. So initially we have seen the article class, then we have seen the IEEE transaction class, and we have seen how to set the output in the double column format, how to see the output in the single one column, and whether we wanted to see the output for the journal article or for the conference. So those particular parameters can be set into this square braces. Okay, so we can include those options over here. Okay, so now there are certain packages are available in the LaTeX. So by default, whenever you are creating a new document in the Overleaf, any sample document you are creating, so by default, initially we have seen that Overleaf will create that particular code, and that output will be displayed with the title, author name, and date. So in that, after the document class, certain package will be there. That is use package, UTF-8, input ENC. So that package will be automatically come. So what is the meaning of this package? So this is the encoding for the document to allow the characters beyond ASCII. So if you wanted to add certain characters in your document, so for that purpose, we are defining this package. Okay, so it can be omitted or changed to another encoding, but UTF-8 is recommended. Okay, so therefore we are Overleaf is by default adding that particular package in our coding. Right. So now what is the meaning of packages? So we have seen after the document class, we can mention the package by writing /use package and curly braces we can write. And in the curly braces, we can mention the details related to that package. So this is a standard. Okay. So why we need different types of packages? So a package is a file or collection of files containing extra LaTeX commands and programming, which add new styling features or modifying those already existing. So if you wanted to add some more features to your document, so that purpose, we need to add certain packages. So now to import a package in LaTeX, you simply add /use package and curly braces directive to the preamble of your document. So preamble means it needs to be defined before the begin document. So now how to install a package? So if you're using Linux or Mac, so most packages will already installed by default and usually not necessary to install them. So the MikTeX bundle on in Windows will download the package if you include in your document. So if you're including certain package, so Windows MikTeX will automatically download that particular packages. So now what packages will do? Packages add new functions to your LaTeX document. So all packages must be included in your preamble, that is before the document. So now where these packages will be required. So whenever you are including certain images or certain graphs you are including, so at that point, LaTeX will not understand the images or where we are defining the graphs. So to display those particular images, we need to define certain packages. So to display certain kind of images, we need to use a package which will be use package graphics. So here I have just written use package in curly braces. We have defined graphics. So this particular package allows for including the images in your output. Okay. So whenever you're writing the papers for the journals or the conferences, you need to include certain images and the graphs. Okay. So whenever you wanted to include the images, you need to use this particular package in your preamble. Preamble means before the begin document. Okay. And whenever you are adding the bibliography in your LaTeX document, for that purpose also we need a certain kind of package, and that will be called as an use package. In the curly braces, we will write as a cite. Okay. So now what is the difference between the packages and the class files? Okay. So the default formatting in LaTeX document is determined by the class used by that document. So how this class will be defined? So class is always defined by .cls extension. Okay, so whenever you are using, suppose IEEE Tran class you are using, so that will be defined as an .cls extension. And whenever you are defining any package, so that package will be defined with an extension that is .sty extension. So you can see whenever you are creating a certain LaTeX documents, you can see certain files with .cls extension and .sty extension. So .cls means it is a class file, and .sty basically gives your package. Okay, so I think you have understood the complete difference between the packages and the class files. So we will see what are the different examples of these packages. As this workshop will proceed, you will understand what are the different packages will be required to display the images, or writing the mathematical equations, or displaying the bibliography. So here we have defined use package graphics. So here you can see that this package will be used for displaying the images. If you want to adjust certain parameters related to some box parameters, so for that you can use the package adjust box. If you wanted to display the pseudocode in your article or the conference paper, for that purpose, so there is some standard how this pseudocode will be displayed in your paper. So for that purpose, you can use the package, which is algorithm package. So what we have done, /use package, and in the curly braces, we have just written algorithm. If you wanted to write the mathematical equations, you need to specify use package AMS math. Appendix, certain packages are there. If you wanted to define the bibliography, that the references, you can use the package which is cite. Then if you wanted to define the captions of your figures, captions for your graphs, that purpose you can use the use package caption. EPS to PDF is there. Then drawing certain diagrams, circuit diagrams. Whenever you're writing the tables, for that purpose, you can use the package that is tabular. If you wanted to change the parameters related to this article page, if you wanted to change the page margin, for that purpose, you can use the package which is the geometry package. So I have just included certain packages. I think in coming sessions, you will understand the significance of each package. Okay, so till now, what we have learned, we have created our first document, and that document we have specified of an article class, and we have seen how to display the title of that document, how to include the author name. If you want to add thanks to certain particular universities or certain organizations, how to include their name, how to display the date into that document. Okay, so I think initial document now everyone has created in the LaTeX. So now we will proceed, and we will start with some basic formatting. Okay, so how to create the abstract in the LaTeX, how to write the paragraphs, how to fix the parameters related to the paragraphs, this paragraph spacing. If you just wanted to add some vertical space or horizontal space, how to do that in the LaTeX, how to insert the line breaks, how to insert the page breaks, and how to add the spacing. So in the basic formatting, we will have hands-on on all these particular things. So what we will do, initially, we will start with the abstract. Okay. Okay, so how to add the abstract? So this we will write in the overleaf. Okay, so how to add the abstract? What we need to do, the document class article. So that initially only we have defined. Then title, what we are adding, title we are giving as an adding an abstract. Author name we are specifying, date. So this we have already understood. Then begin document, we need to specify make title. When we specify make title, then output will be displayed. Okay, now we need to define the abstract. So whenever you wanted to display the abstract in the output window, the command which should be included in your input window, so that command is \begin abstract and end abstract. So whatever the abstract you wanted to display in your output window, so that content should be written between the begin document and the end document. And your every document should end with the command that is \end document. So LaTeX will understand that your document has now ended. Okay, so now this will be the code, and we will just now go to the overleaf, and we will try to create an abstract in the LaTeX. Okay, so now we will go to the overleaf. Okay, so what we will do, we will initially just define the document class. So here the document class has come. So here I'm just writing the document class is article. What will be the next line? Suppose we wanted to define the title. So title, we are just defining that, adding an abstract. Okay. Next, what we wanted to define, we wanted to define the name of the author. So author, and in the curly braces, what we'll specify? We are specifying as an XYZ. Okay, next line, what we will do? We will specify the date. Date in the curly braces, what we will specify? Backslash today. Okay, so this is the initial content. Now what we will do? We will start with begin document. So begin, I will just specify over here that begin document. Okay, so begin document, end document has also come. And now we wanted to display the title. So what we will do? We will define the command that is make title. Okay, so after that, what we wanted to do? We wanted to write an abstract. So for that purpose, what code we need to specify? So we need to write begin, and in the curly braces, what we will write abstract. So here you can see that abstract has come, begin abstract, and end abstract has already come. So what we will do, whatever the abstract you wanted to display in your output, so I will include over here. Okay, so I will just write it over here. This is our abstract for the first document, and we'll go full stop. Here also I can I can define certain content. So I'm just writing over here, hello world. Okay, so now if you just recompile this. Okay, so after compiling, how your output is looking like. So here you can see that in the output window, the title has come. So what is the title? Title is adding an abstract. So adding an abstract, then author XYZ, then date we have specified, then we have specified the hello world, then begin abstract and end abstract. So whatever the content we have specified between begin and end abstract, so that content has been displayed over here. So this is our abstract for the first document. Okay, so I think everyone has able to generate their own abstract. So this is the process we need to follow whenever we are generating the abstract. Okay, so shall we proceed? Are you able to create the abstract? Okay, so I hope everyone has been able to create their own abstract. So now, hello.
Yes, sir. Vikas, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Most of people are replying yes, so we can proceed.
Okay, sir. Okay, so we'll proceed to the next part. Okay, so now everyone has been able to create the abstract. So creating the abstract, what we have done, we have just specified begin abstract and end abstract, and whatever the content we wanted to display, so that content has been included between begin and end abstract. Okay, so now we will proceed and we will see how to write the paragraph in the LaTeX document. Okay, so till now, what are the contents we have seen? We have created a document which will have the title, which will have the author name, which will have certain date, and then we have created an abstract in your document. So now we will proceed and we will see how to create a paragraph in your LaTeX document. So even though the default formatting in LaTeX is fine, sometimes we need to change some elements. So whenever some text is there in the LaTeX document, we need to change the vertical space, or we wanted to change some horizontal spacing. We wanted to change the paragraph alignment, like it should be centered, or the left alignment, or the right alignment. We wanted to change the spacing, or indentation can be changed. So all these parameters can be changed in the LaTeX document. And in this paragraph section, we will cover this. Okay, so now what we will do, we will just create an initial paragraph. Okay, so for that purpose, what we will do, we will just mention the command as an begin center and end center, and in between we will write the code. Okay, so the code text will be the first paragraph, and the second paragraph we will mention. So these two paragraphs are written inside a center environment. So here you can see that we have defined the environment that begin center and end center, so which causes them to be centered. So whatever the text will be there, so that text will be centered. So notice that to start a new paragraph, you have to insert a blank line in between them. So we will see in the overlap, whenever you wanted to start a text on the new line, you need to insert a blank line in the code. And this is quite natural, but not the only way to declare a new paragraph. So this is the one way. There are some another ways are also there to start the line on the next, like paragraph can be specified, spacing can be specified in the paragraphs. So now what we will do, we will just go to Overleaf and we will see how to mention the paragraph. Okay, so we have written the abstract over here. Suppose now I am just including some content over here. So this is our first document. And here also I am pasting, this is our first document. Suppose I am executing this particular code. So here you can see that the text has come. This is our abstract for the first document, full stop. This is our abstract for the first document. So now if you just wanted to start, this is our first abstract for the first document. If I wanted to start this on the next line, so what I can do, I can just make enter and I can start this on the next line. So you can see the output in this particular case. So here you can see that this is our abstract for the first document. So this has been started on the next line. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Right, so this is one of the way to start on the next line. There are some another ways are also there. So we are also going to see those particular commands. Now what we will do, we will just mention one particular environment, and that particular environment is begin, and we are going to specify over here center. Okay, so begin center and end center. What I will do, I will just cut paste this text and I will paste it over here. Now I will compile it. Okay, so here you can see that this is our abstract for the first document has been centered. So whatever the text we have included between begin center and end center, so that text has been come into the center of this particular document. Okay, so this is the function of this command, that begin center and the end center. Okay, so how to start the new paragraph? So you can do insert a blank line. The blank line can be inserted between these two lines so that you can start a new paragraph. Okay, so if you just remove this blank line and if you just compile it again, so you can see that now the new paragraph has not been created. So you can see that this is our abstract for the first document, and again the next line is appearing. So to create the new paragraph, what you need to do, you need to specify a blank line between this. So I will now compile it, and you can see that the new paragraph has been created. So now what is the another way of creating the paragraph? So what we will do, instead of writing on the blank line, instead of adding blank line, what you can specify? You can specify a command which is \par. So that can be specified, and now I will just compile it, and you can see that the new paragraph has been created. So you can use this particular command that is \par. If you are not wanted to go, if you don't want to insert the blank line, instead of that, what you can specify? You can specify \par, and you can start the new paragraph. Right. So these are the ways to start the paragraphs. Right. So what we will do, we will just go back to the presentation, and we will see what are the next things we wanted to complete. Right. So to start a new paragraph, which particular command we need to use? So we need to use a command which is \par. So \par command starts a new paragraph. Okay. Right. So now we need to see what is the meaning of paragraph indentation. So by default, LaTeX does not indent the first paragraph of a section or a chapter. So the size of the subsequent paragraph indents is determined by a \par indent. So this particular command can be used to set the spacing which will be required whenever the new paragraph has been starting. So this particular command will be required. So what we will do, we will just copy this particular command, that is set length and \/ paragraph indent, and the size has been given as an 4em. So these are different types of lengths are there. So we are going to see what is the meaning of this particular lengths. Okay, so now we have also seen how to include the paragraphs into the center. we can also justify it. Paragraph alignment is an important aspect in the document. So text justification we need to make. So the paragraphs in the LaTeX are fully justified. If you're not making certain commands, then whatever the paragraph content will be there, so that will be fully justified. If you wanted to make it as an left justified or right justified, we need to include the command such as an backslash begin flush left and end backslash plus left, that can be included. So this we will see in the Overleaf code. Right. So now I will just remove this. Okay, so now what I have done, I have just added some content between begin center and end center, and I'm just compiling it. Okay, so whatever the content has been included, so that has been included at the center of this document. So now if you just wanted to right justified or left justified, what you can do, you can just type a command that is begin, and in the curly braces, you can write it down as an flush left. Suppose I wanted to write. Okay, so begin flush left and end flush left. In between, I can include whatever the text we wanted to make left justified. Okay, so I will just copy paste this code over here. Okay, so you can see that the second paragraph is centered and the first paragraph is left justified, because whatever the content was there, so that content was included between begin in the curly braces flush left and end flush left. So the content has been included between this code. So this has been left justified. If you wanted to make that content as an right justified, so what we can do, we can just make flush. Here I will just include flush right, and what I will do, I will just instead of left, I will write it over here flush right. Okay, so here you can see that now the text has been right justified. Okay, so the second paragraph is again the centered, and the first paragraph is right justified. So what are the commands we have seen? We have seen the commands as an begin center and end center, so that the content will appear at the center of the document. If you are writing begin in the curly braces flush right and end flush right, so that your text will be right justified. If you are writing begin flush left and end flush left, your whatever the text will be there, that will be left justified. Okay, so now if you just wanted to include some paragraph spacing, if you wanted to insert, so that now we are going to see. So what I will do, I will just remove this begin flush right and end flush right. Okay, so now if you wanted to add some particular paragraph spacing into the paragraph, so what I can do, I will just write it over here. Okay, so now we have understood how to do the text justification, that is the paragraph alignment. So now how to do the paragraph spacing. So the length parameter that characterizes the paragraph spacing is backslash PR skip. So this determines the space between a paragraph and the preceding text. So what we will do, we will just use this particular command, that is set length, that is paragraph speak, and we will make it as a 1 em, so that we will see how it is changing the paragraph spacing. Okay, so here what we will do, we will just include set length. Okay, and what we will make, we will write it down paragraph skip, and here I will just mention 1 EM. So EM is basically the unit of that length. So that also we are going to see. Okay. So now here you can see that there are two different paragraphs are there. So first paragraph is starting with this paper, and here I have written that sent length paragraph skip 1 EM. Suppose now I will just change this to the 3. So what we will do, we will just add it over here. Okay, so this has been adding this particular space over here. So you can see that this is our abstract for the first document, and whatever the vertical space will be there in the paragraph, so that will be equals to the 3 EM. So if you change, if you wanted to change the parameters related to the paragraph, so you can use this particular command that will be called as an set length. Okay, so now what we will do, we will proceed, and we will see the details related to the spacing, that is horizontal spacing and the vertical spacing. So now if you wanted to include some horizontal spacing, so for that particular purpose, you can use the command that will be called as an backslash, that is h space. So that can be included. So there are some another commands are also available. So you can use horizontal h fill. So that will insert a blank space that will stretch accordingly to fill the available space. There are another commands that is h rule fill and dot fill. So those commands can also be used. So now we will go to the Overleaf and we will just see how this commands will work. All right. So now what we will do, we will use the command. Suppose the first sentence is there that okay. So now if you suppose here we wanted to insert some horizontal spacing is there. So what we will do, we will just insert h space over there, and we will just specify as in suppose 1 centimeter. Okay, so here I have written this paper and horizontal space, and after that the present word is apple. So if you just compile this, you can see that a blank horizontal space of length 1 centimeter has been created over here. If we just change this 1 centimeter to 2, you can see that spacing of 2 centimeter has been created over here. Okay, so this is the one way of adding the horizontal space. Another way is there, so you can write it down the command that will be called as an h fill. Okay, so initially we have seen the command h space, so you can use the command that is backslash and you can use h fill. And if we just compile it, you can see that an horizontal space has been created over there, right? There are another commands are also there, like h rule fill. So if you just type this command h rule fill, so you can see that a horizontal space has been created, but a line also has been given over here. You can see that. I will just zoom it if it's possible. Okay. So here you can see that h rule fill means horizontal space will be created along with this line. If you wanted to have some dot-like structure, so for that purpose, what you can do, you can specify the dot fill. Okay, so here you can see that the horizontal space has been created and the dots has been presented in your output. Okay, so I hope everyone has now understood how to add the horizontal spacing in your LaTeX document. So for that purpose, what you can do, very simple command is there, that again I will just explain to you what command is there. Backslash, you can write h space, and in the curly braces you can specify, suppose I'm specifying 1 centimeter, and you just compile this. So here the space will be created. Okay, so whenever you wanted to add some horizontal spaces in your document, wherever you wanted to add, you can just include these commands, horizontal space or h fill, h rule fill, or h dot fill. So these commands can be included in your document. So similarly, now if you wanted to add some vertical spacing, okay, so now we have seen the details related to the horizontal spacing. So if you wanted to add some vertical spacing. So for that purpose, what commands we can use? So here I will just include the command that will be called as a vfill, okay, to add the vertical spacing. Okay, so here you can see that such a type of output has been generated over here. Okay, so what we have done, initially we have seen how to add the horizontal spacing. Now what we have seen, we are going to see how to add the vertical spacing. So there are different types of options are available to add the vertical spacing. So first of all, which command we are using? So first of all, we have this paragraph, and second paragraph is also defined. And in between these two paragraphs, we are writing a command which is nothing but \vfill. Okay, so what this vfill is doing? So vfill is adding the vertical space between these paragraphs, and you can see that now this second paragraph has moved to the end of this document. So according to this document length and document size, this vfill document, what will do, the paragraph which is appearing after this document, after this command, so that will be moved at the end of this particular page. So this will be done by the vfill. If you wanted to use another command, so that command is basically v and space and curly braces. Suppose we are writing 5 millimeters. Suppose we are writing. Now we will just compile it, and you can see that the vertical spacing between this now two paragraphs will be equals to 5 millimeters. If you wanted to increase the spacing, you can increase that by specifying certain parameters in this curly braces. Okay. So now we have seen, initially we started looking into how to write the paragraphs in the LaTeX document. Then we have seen that how to start a new paragraph. Then we have seen how to set the paragraph parameters, how to start the paragraph on the new line. Then we have seen how to do the horizontal spacing. And now we have completed the discussion on how to add the vertical spacing in the LaTeX document. So I hope till this point, all of you have understood. Okay. All right. So now we will just go back to the presentation, and we will see what are the next things we are going to complete. So now we have seen the spacing, horizontal blank spacing. So what are the commands we need to use? We need to use hspace and \hfill, \hrulfill, and \dot_fill. So these commands can be used for adding the horizontal spacing. Similarly, to add the vertical spacing, we can use the command such as \vspace. In between, we can specify the length. Okay, that is 5 millimeter. Here we have specified. Similarly, we can use \vfill, \small skip, \mid skip, and \big skip. So these commands can be used for adding the vertical spacing. Now, one of the important point you can observe it over here, that whenever we are writing \vspace and in bracket, we are specifying certain length, and here we have defined the length as an 5 millimeters. So we will see what are the different types of lengths in LaTeX are available. Okay, so in LaTeX there are a lot of lengths determining various dimensions of the prepared documents. So below a description of available units in the LaTeX. So what are the different units are available? So we have PT. So PT basically a point is approximately 1/72.27 inch. Okay, so that is the dimension. Mm basically defines a millimeter. CM defines a centimeter. IN specifies the inch. EX will roughly the height of an lowercase of the letter X. Okay, EM means roughly the width of an uppercase of the alphabet, that is capital M. MU will be the math unit equal to 1/18 EM, right? So these are the different lengths are available in the LaTeX, and as per your need, you can use this lengths. Okay, so similarly, there are another lengths are also available in the LaTeX, so you can go through this particular length. So I have just included what are the some sample lengths we can specify. So \baseline skip, so this can be directly used whenever we wanted to specify the vertical distance between the lines in a paragraph. Okay, next command is \column sep. Column sep means if you wanted to have some manually you wanted to separate the two columns. So for that particular purpose, you can specify and use the command that is \column sep. That similarly, I have mentioned the commands over here. We can set the parameters related to the width of the column, then the width of the line in the current environment, width of the page, height of the page, then the vertical space between the paragraphs. So that already we have seen. Then / top margin. So this basically sets the length of the top margin. Okay, then how to insert the line breaks in the LaTeX document. Okay, so now what we will do, we have seen that horizontal space can be added by mentioning the h-fill. So instead of that, what we can do, we can write a command which will be called as a new line. So whenever you are using this particular command / new line, so your content will be moved on the next line. So now that we can display in your Overleaf code, we can just display this. Okay, so now suppose I wanted to, first line has been defined over here, that this paper presents a reconfigurable microstrip antenna design with a continuous CP beam scanning feature. And now I wanted to move this content on the next line. So for that particular purpose, I can use the 2 backslashes. So you can see that I have defined the 2 backslash, and after that, whatever the content which is coming in, so that has been coming as an on the next line. So in the output, you can see that the effective tunable patch size. So this has come on the next line. Okay, so what is the another way of doing this? So for another command is there. So we can specify the command which will be the / and we can write it down as a new line. So this is also one way whenever we wanted to move the text to the next line, right? So I hope everyone has understood how to move the text to the next line. So you can use 2 backslashes. Again, I will specify it over here. You can use 2 backslashes so that your content will move on the next line. What is the another way? You can specify the command which is new line over here, and your content will move on the next line, right? Okay, so now how to insert the page breaks. Okay, so now we have seen how to start on the next line that we have seen. Then how to insert the page breaks in the LaTeX document. So for that purpose, you can use 2 commands. So those commands are a clear page and the new page. So those 2 commands we can use. So now we will just go to this Overleaf and we will see how this will work. So now this new line command, I will just going to remove. A vertical space, again, I am going to remove. So now what I am doing, so now these 2 paragraphs are there. Okay, so this is the first paragraph and second paragraph is also there. And what I am doing, so this is an article class. So your title is there, author name is there, abstract also we have included, and 2 paragraphs are there. Now what I wanted to do is that I wanted to insert the page break. So for that purpose, 2 different commands are there. So there is difference between these 2 commands, that is / new page and clear page. So what we will do, I will just adding this command, that is clear page. So here you can see that this command has come, clear page. So now if you just compile it, you can see that the second paragraph has been moved on the next page. And you can see that the LaTeX document has automatically given the page numbers also. So here you can see that the page number is appearing as a 1. Here the page number will appear as a 2. And here you can see that by writing the clear page command, the second paragraph has been moved on the next page. So this is the way you can insert the page break in the LaTeX document. Okay, so what we have done, we have 2 different paragraphs were there. So now I will just remove this command. Okay, so before how it was looking, so initially only 1 page was there. Okay, in that 2 different paragraphs were there. So after that, we have used a command / clear page. And after that, you can see that our second paragraph has moved on this next page. Okay, so this is the way you can insert the page breaks. Okay, so now how to do the text formatting. Now that you can, we are going to see. Now in the Microsoft Word, you know that how to make the text italic, or how to make the text bold, how to underline the text, okay, how to emphasize the text. So how, in LaTeX, how we will do that, okay? So now that we are going to see how to make a certain particular text as an italic, how to make the certain text in the bold, how to make, we wanted to underline some particular text, or we wanted to emphasize any particular text. So whenever we wanted to italize in the italic form, suppose we wanted particular text, So for that particular purpose, we can use this command, that is \text it, and in bracket curly braces, we will mention that particular text which we wanted in the italic format. To write the bold text, what we will do, we will use the command text bf, and in the curly braces, we will mention the text that we wanted into the bold letters. Okay, so now we will go to the Overleaf and we will see how to do this. Okay. Okay, so now this paper presents a reconfigurable microstrip antenna. So this is the first line. Suppose now I wanted this word that is reconfigurable, I wanted in the italic format. So what I will do, I will just write it down, that is text, and I will write it down as an IT. So here I think it has automatically come. So text IT. Okay, so which particular text I wanted in the italic form? I wanted this reconfigurable word in the italic format. So I will include that particular word in the curly braces. So after compiling this, you can see that this reconfigurable word has come into the italic fashion. Okay, so this paper presents a that is in the plain text, and reconfigurable has come in the italic form. Right? I hope everyone has understood what should be the command. The command is \text it, and in the curly braces, whatever the text you wanted to display in the italic form, that text need to be included in the curly braces. Now, if suppose I wanted to make this reconfigurable word in the bold letter, so what I will do, I will just include the command text bf. Okay, and I will just recompile this document. Okay, so here you can see that this paper presents a reconfigurable. So this reconfigurable word has now come in the bold format, right? So to add in the italic, what you will do, you will add the command \text it. To have the bold, you can add the command text bf. So now if you underline this particular word that is reconfigurable, so what I will do, I will just add the command \, and I will just specify underline. Okay, so if you just write it down, this command \underline, so here you can see that the word reconfigurable and one underline has been appeared below this particular word. Okay, so that can be done. So italic has been done, then how to specify in the bold letters, that has been done. How to specify, how to underline specific words, so the command is \underline, and in the curly braces we will write that particular word. Now, if you wanted to emphasize some particular text, so for that purpose, what we will do, we will write the command \emph, and in the curly braces, we will write that particular word. Okay, so this particular text has been emphasized in our document. Right, so I hope till this point, everyone has understood. What actually we are doing is that we wanted to cover all details related to the document structure, right? So text formatting now has been done. There is a difference between \emph and text italic. So you can go through the differences between these two commands. Okay, so now what are the different font sizes are available? I think in the previous session, Ashok sir has briefly discussed, we can fix the font sizes of the different text. Okay, so LaTeX normally chooses the appropriate font and font size based on the logical structure of the document. In some cases, you wanted to set the fonts and sizes by hand. Okay, in some cases, we need to specify the font size of some particular words. Okay, so now what we will do, we will go to Overleaf and we will see how to fix the font sizes, right? Right, so all of you please try this so that you can, you will understand how to fix the font sizes. So here, what I will do, I will just type a word over here. That is what I will do. I will just type tiny. Okay, so this is the first command, and here I am writing antenna. Okay, so here what I will do, I will just add some vertical space also. Or we will just move this content on the new page, or I will write it over here, a clear page. So this content will go to the second page. Okay, so now here you can see that by writing the tiny, that font will be selected for this particular word, and the text has been defined as an antenna. So first what we have done, we have defined the command \tiny, and the text has been defined as an antenna. So tiny will give this particular specified font to this particular text. Next, what we will do, we will define the next font type, and I will specify over here a script size. Okay, so script size, and after that same word I will write. So script size antenna, that same word I am writing. Okay, so you can see the difference between the fonts which is given by this tiny command and the font specified by this script size. Okay, so you can very well differentiate the font sizes. Next, what we will do, we will use the command that is footnote size. So here it has automatically come, that is footnote size, and the same word I'm going to use, and I will just recompile it, and you can see that the font has been increased over here. I think everyone has been able to follow this. Okay, first command is \tiny, the second command is script size, third one is the footnote size. Okay, next what we will specify, we will specify small, and we will specify the text as an antenna over here. Okay, so you can see that the fonts are getting changed. Next, I can specify normal size, and I will just mention the text as an antenna over here. Again, I will just compile it, and you can see that the font size had been increased. So these are the typical standard fonts are available in the LaTeX, and as per your need, you can use the typical font sizes you can use. Large, again, I can use \large, and I can specify antenna over here, same word I am specifying. Okay, so you can see that the font size has been increased. Then I am specifying \large, then I'm specifying the word, same word I'm using. Then I'm specifying huge, and word I'm specifying as an antenna. Okay, and the last fonts command we will use, capital H. Okay, so whatever the Ashok sir has shown in the previous session, that we can fix the font sizes. Okay, so by using these commands, here you can see that by using the tiny or script size, footnote size, or small, normal size, large with capital L, and all in capitals, \large, huge, you can set the fonts of the text in your document. Right, so now we will proceed further, and we will complete the next part related to the document structure. Okay, so now till now what we have seen, we have seen the document class, which is an article. So that document has taken certain page margins and footnote that has been taken by this article class. But in some cases, you need to change the margins of your document. So how we can do that? So for that purpose, you need a package, and that package is called as a geometry. So you can use this particular package, that is \use package. In the curly braces, here we have specified as a geometry, right? And in the curly braces, you can set the parameters. Like here, I have set the parameters like what should be the margin, include foot, and foot skip. So these parameters I have included over here. So by specifying these parameters, we can change the margins of your document. Okay, right. So next, what we will do, we will just proceed, and we will see how to add the sections and the subsections in your document. So now we will go to Overleaf, right? So here we will go to our first page. So here you can see that right. So we have defined the abstract, and suppose now we wanted to make certain different sections in your document, because if you just see any IEEE transaction paper, that will have different types of sections. So sections means it will have the introduction, it will have certain kind of methodology, design methodology that has been followed in the paper, then the results and discussion, then the conclusion will be there, and the references. So these are the different sections will appear in your particular journal document or any conference paper. So what we will do, we will see how to add the sections in your document. So whenever you wanted to add the sections in your document, what you can do, you can define the command that is \section, and here in the curly braces, you can specify the name of that section. Suppose after the abstract, I wanted to define the section, that is the section I wanted to define as an introduction. So I have used the command that is introduction. So here you can see that our section has been created. So after the section, after the abstract, you can see that we have given the name to that section as an introduction. So by default, it has taken this number, that is 1. If you don't want any particular number to that section, you can just add this command over there, and you can remove the number of that section if you don't want any number to those particular sections. So here you can see that just by adding this command over here, you can see that the number of that section has been gone. So we will just include the section number. So I think everyone has understood what command we need to use. We will use \section, and in bracket we have written the introduction. Suppose now we wanted to define one more section. So suppose I am just mentioning over here one more section. So I am defining a section, and that section is suppose results and discussion. Okay, so now in the output you can see that 2 different sections has been created. So the first section is introduction, and second section is the results and discussion, right? So 2 different sections are created. Now these are 2 sections. If you wanted to create the subsection, so how to create the subsection? You can go to this section part, and suppose here I wanted to create the subsection. So here I will define the subsection over here. So subsection command we need to use, and here I will just write it over here that suppose literature survey is suppose we are going to mention in this subsection. So I will just recompile it, and here you can see that our section was defined with a number 1, introduction, then 1.1 has been defined as an literature survey. All right, and second section 2 has been defined as an results and discussion. Here also you wanted to make one more section, you can make that section. So section, I will mention over here that we want to display the conclusion. Again, if you want to display the references, you can go to section, and here you can just type it down, that is references. So if you just recompile it, so those sections will be created. So section 1 is introduction, section 2 is results and discussion, section 3 is conclusion, section 4 is the references. So this way you can create different types of sections. So labeling can also be given to this section. So you can go through the document which is available in the Overleaf to see how the labels are specified. Now, I think everyone has understood how we are defining the sections. Now, if you wanted to have the table of contents for this particular document, so what you can do, you can go over here and you can specify one command that is table of contents. Okay, so if I just adding this command table of contents, and if I just compile this document again, so here you can see that on the first page, our table of contents has been created. So the title has been given as an contents. So first section is introduction. In the introduction, subsection is there, that is literature survey, and second section is results and discussion. Third section is conclusion. Fourth section is references. And here you can see that the LaTeX will automatically take the page numbers. You don't need to worry about how to give the page numbers in the LaTeX document. Okay, so this completes the discussion on the sections and the subsections. Okay, so Mohan sir, can I just extend this for 5 or 10 minutes so that I can finish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I can finish the discussion on creating the list.
Yes, sir. Wonderful, sir. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we will just see only one part is remaining, so that we are going to cover. So section already we have done, right? So how to include the section? You can add a label to sections also. So here you have seen in this particular code, we have added label as in first section. So why these labels are added? So whenever you are writing a journal article, so that will have certain 7 to 8 pages with a lot of graphs and mathematical equations. So that time you need to refer that particular section. Suppose in the section 2, I'm referring the section 1. Like that, I'm mentioning that in the section 1, it has been mentioned that. So in that case, I can just use this particular label to refer that section 1. So you can go through the document which is available in the Overleaf to see how this label can be added. Okay, so now we are coming to the end of this document structure. So next important part of this document structure is how to define the list. Okay, so there are two different types of list are there, unordered and ordered list. And after that, we will see how to mix these two lists, that is unordered and ordered list, and how to make the nested list that we are going to see. So lists are basic elements in a document. When used correctly, they keep concepts organized and structured. So this article explains how to create and modify numbered and unnumbered list in the LaTeX. We will see how to create the text with some bullet fashion, or if you wanted to specify with some numbers. So lists are actually very simple to create. So first what we are doing, we will create an unordered list. So that list will not have any particular numbers. So that will be called as an unnumbered list. So for that particular purpose, what we need to specify, we need to write this particular code in the LaTeX. So what is that code? So the code is begin itemize and end itemize, and in between we are specifying the contents which we wanted to display in the bullet fashion. So here you can see that any text we need to specify in the bullet fashion. Before that, we need to use a command that will be called as an item. So / item that can be added. Okay, so we will directly go to the Overleaf and we will see how to define this list. Okay. Okay, so suppose after this references, I wanted to define a list. So to define the list, what we can do, just go to begin, then itemize. I am just typing it over here, begin itemize. So begin itemize and end itemize. So that has been come. So now this will create an unordered type of list. So first I will define that this is the first entry. Okay, and suppose second content we are defining, so we need to write / item, and I will specify this is the second entry. Okay, I will just recompile this and we will see how the output has come in our document. Okay, so here you can see that that output has come. So the text has been come in the bullet fashion. So here, therefore, it is called as an unordered because the numbers has not been specified. Okay, so begin itemize and end itemize, and in between we need to specify the text which will start with / item. Okay, there is another way if you wanted to have the order type of list. So for that particular purpose, what we can do, for that purpose, we need to define, now we are talking about the order list. So what we can do, we write begin enumerate. Okay, we will double click on this, and that has been automatically taken in this programming code. So first, suppose I wanted to specify this is the first entry. So I'm just writing over here, this is the first entry. Here again, I'm going to specify the second entry. So I will just specify this is the second entry, and I will just compile this. So here you can see that now ordered list has been created. So the first list was unordered. The text was defined in terms of the bullet fashion. So here you can see that this is an ordered list. So initially the first content has been specified with a number 1, and second has been specified with an content as an 2. Right. Okay, so now I hope everyone has understood till this particular point. So first we have seen unordered list. Second, we have seen the ordered list. Now we are going to see it will have the combination of enumerate and itemize. So what I will do, I will specify begin enumerate over here. Suppose the first entry I have specified over here. I will just take this content and I will include this content over here. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to develop a nested list. So that will be the combination of this ordered and unordered list. Now I am just compiling this. Okay, so here you can see that. So first entry, because we started with enumerate, so the first entry has come with a number that is 1. So this is the first entry. After that, we are defining the unordered list. So we have defined the environment as an begin itemize and end itemize. So here you can see that the text has come in the bullet fashion. So this is the first entry, this is the second entry, and we will end this nested list with an item. This is the second entry. Okay, so here you can see that this is called as a nested because this is a combination of unordered and ordered list. So here we have combined the enumerate and the itemize environment. All right. Next, what we will do, we will just finish this within 5 minutes. What we will do, if you wanted to create an ordered list, how this will be displayed in the LaTeX document. So I will just define the environment as an begin enumerate. So that environment I am displaying over here. Suppose I am just writing over here. So this is the I am defining the environment, begin enumerate and end enumerate. Suppose I'm just writing over here the first label item, and here I will just specify again first label item. So this I have defined. So how this will display in your LaTeX document. So here you can see that first level item and second level item. So this has been displayed over here. What I can do, I can include more enumerate command over here. So what I can do, I will just include this again. So begin enumerate. Suppose I will just mention over here that this is the second level item. Okay, again we will specify the third level item, how this will look like. So here I am specifying the third level item. Again, one more level we will take. Okay, so I will just copy this. Okay, so we have defined begin enumerate for the 3 times. So therefore we are specifying end enumerate for again for the 3 times. So here I am just writing down the fourth level item. So here also I'm going to write the fourth level item, and again I will use this command so that our environment will be completed. So I will just compile this, and you can see how the output will look like. Okay, so you can see that I will just remove this initial command we have defined for the nested list. Okay, so we will just see the output, and we will just move on to the slides so that we can discuss further points. So here you can see that the first enumerate pattern has been taken in the fashion 1 and 2. Second has been taken as a small letters A and B. Third has been taken in the Roman fashion, and the last has been taken as an capital A and capital B. Okay, so this is the predefined class has been defined inside the LaTeX document. So I will just go to the presentation, and here you can see how this nested list. So we started the discussion on the order list. So that discussion we completed. We have seen the nested list in terms of itemize and combination of enumerate. Next, we wanted to create the nested list. So we created this, and now we completed this particular task. So as many other LaTeX elements, unordered and ordered list styles can be personalized. So the numbering styles change depending on the depth of the nested list. So what is the depth of that list? According that the numbering style will change. So this code already we have written in the Overleaf document. Right. So what we have done, we have defined begin enumerate, then the first level item, then second level, third level, and fourth level. So we have used begin enumerate for the 4 times. So therefore we are ending this with the \end enumerate for 4 times. Otherwise error will be displayed. So how this output will be displayed in the LaTeX output window? So we have seen initially it has taken the Arabic number, that is 1, 2, it has taken for the level 1, right? For the level 2, it will take the lowercase letters, that is small ABC. For the level 3, it will take the lowercase Roman numeral, okay, for the level 3. For the level 4, it will take uppercase letters, that is capital A, capital B, and capital C. So this has been predefined, If you wanted to change, suppose the second is the lowercase letter has been defined for the level 2, that is small a, small b, and small c. If you wanted to define the Roman type of letters for the second level, so that can be done by using this particular command. If you're defining renew command, then label number I means second level, you wanted to rename as the Roman type of numeral, so that can be done. So these contents are available in the Overleaf document. So if you are interested, if you wanted to change the representation for any particular level, you can go through that particular document. Okay, so we have seen for the enumerate, so same can be achieved for this itemize environment also. Okay, so what we have done, we have defined begin itemize first level, begin itemize second level, begin itemize third level, begin itemize fourth level, and we are ending with end itemize, end itemize, end itemize, and end itemize for the 4 times, because we have defined begin itemize for 4 times. So what its output will look like? So initially it will have some dot text bullet, then it will have dash, then it will have some star marking, then some dot it will come. If you wanted to change the representation for any particular level, that you can do. I'm not going to, because of the time constraint, I'm not going through this. And what are the available styles for the numbered list? So \ALPH defines the lowercase letters, capital ALPH defines the uppercase letter, Arabic defines the Arabic number, /Roman defines the lowercase Roman numeral, and \capital R defines uppercase Roman numeral. Okay, so these are the styles you can define. Okay, so I hope now we are going to conclude. So what we have started the discussion initially, we wanted to cover the document structure. Okay, so we have discussed the article type, we have defined the packages, we have discussed the text formatting, we have defined how to include the list in the LaTeX document, we have seen how to include the section and subsections. Heading and subheading is very much similar to the sections. Chapters are also similar to the section. \chapter you can define. So those particular chapters you can create in your LaTeX document. So I hope we were able to give the hands-on on the document structure, and all of you are able to write your own code and see the outputs in your Overleaf code. So I'm going to conclude it over here. So Mohan sir, I'm going to conclude it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. This is Pratik Jain.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the wonderful session on hands-on, session on structure of document. It was really wonderful, sir. And you have really done so much effort, sir, in this session. And I think this session will be helpful for all the participants. So now it's time to close the today's session. And we will get together tomorrow at sharp 10 a.m. for 2 more new sessions. Tomorrow, Dr. Neha Gupta ma'am will give you introduction on mathematical environment using LaTeX in the first session, and Dr. Mohan Bansal sir will give us hands-on session on tables and figure environment using LaTeX. So we will be stay tuned tomorrow. Thank you participants, and thank you our speakers. And I would also thank our supporting faculty members, Dr. Naveen Chagju sir and Dr. Vijayanand sir, who helped to participants to solve the errors. Thank you all, sir.
Okay, thanks to all. The participant may leave now. Today's session is closed, and you join on the time tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you, Vikas sir. Thank you, Vijay sir. Thank you, Naveen sir.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
your support, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vijay sir, Raju sir, and Naveen sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you.